Okay, welcome back to Super Sentai Review episode 505. Before I talk about news episode today, which will be episode 38 of Number One Sentai Gozyuger. Basically, after getting my anime all caught up, yes, I have a couple. I was going to do let this give me some ideas. Basically, after getting the anime caught up, I'm gonna basically go back to zoology. To finish that up, and then I'm gonna go through the first half of these season's anime, like the first half of Slayer's next, and the first half of this other anime. Head to Agato, finish that up, and then go finish these two anime seasons. And then do basically, there's a few other series I'm gonna get into, which I'll get into later, after this is finished up. So, it was announced today that that because of the stupid firing of the actress who plays Gozu Unicorn for underage drinking. Yes, I get the fact it's against the law over there for drinking underage, but a lot of people here think this is... I'm one of those people who probably could say that is not a good reason to fire somebody. At all. It's stupid. Really stupid. It's basically here like a misdemeanor. Yes, a misdemeanor. I mean, that is also not an offense to fire somebody. I mean, what's doing on the job? Don't know. So, they have decided for this episode and the next episode, of course, they don't even have their characters speak in the episode. We do briefly see Gozu Unicorn. We see the suit. We don't even see her, you don't hear her speak at all. And you watch this episode and the previous one, it's like, where the heck is this actress? Because it is so obvious she should be in these episodes. But they had to edit her out because of the stupid firing by Toei. So what they decided to do with Gozu Unicorn? Well, beginning with episode 40 of the show, for some weird reason, I'm not sure why in the world did this for. As a matter of fact, this is probably the first time in years they've actually done this, where they do this for this franchise. You probably would think, like, when was the last time you saw this where, okay, so it's been announced that she's going to be replaced by the actress, by Oni's sister from Dawn Brothers. Yep, a series that came out 4 years ago, which I'm going to get back to, don't worry about that, that she is going to be taken over from the actress it was already in the show, with episode 40. And I should point out, though, that I've seen a couple different sources of how many episodes that this particular series is supposed to have. One source I saw was 49, the other was basically 50, so she's probably not going to be on the show very long. I'd say roughly 9 to 10 episodes. Maybe 11. Maybe 10, 11 episodes, maybe. But that's how much stuff the series left to go, because as of this very episode, there is roughly 11 to 12 episodes left to go for Gozyuger. So, I would say this one... Oh, by the way, this one is the first one in a while to not feature a number one monster. You're like, what? When was the last time that happened for this show? And this is quite interesting. By the way, the episode is called Judgment Ring Hunter, which, okay, so the info I read about this is that this was not supposed to be episode 38. This actually was supposed to be episode 39. The actual intended episode, which was actually called The Last Request, A Stunning Ore of High Class, that was supposed to be the actual episode, but because basically the actress is there, apparently footage from this episode is going to be used for next episode, which is the return of the Toei producer. First time we've seen him since episode 26 of the show. Yeah, so, okay, so, what was the last episode not to feature a number one monster? Because there was kind of one featured just like last episode. And that was fashion number one. Let's see. So I think this first time since episode 34 that we've actually not had a number one monster. Yeah. First time. It's been a few episodes. Not the first that this has happened per se. There is a couple more monsters set to debut, but they've not shown up yet for some reason. Yeah, the one's called Cheer and Amusement. They have not shown these monsters yet. Maybe, from what I can tell, look like they're set to be the next ones. Who knows? So, in this particular episode, it focuses on the Ring Hunter. Like, okay, interesting. So, we start off with Haru and Kamo just happen to run each other at a party. Because, of course, Kun's there because, well, he's the president of a company. So, of course, basically, he'd be there. Haru's there because he's one of the waiters. And then, after the brief conversation, then Haru leaves and runs to an old acquaintance of his, named Karu's son. Karu is his name. He apparently is he's an old acquaintance of his, who is a former detective. Now, if Kaijo Okami himself, basically, Marcus, if you watch this episode, he'd probably be like, "Oh crap, that's lead action for Garo." Yes, I have not seen Garo. I'm sure it probably is mentioned. I just haven't seen it yet per se, because I haven't gone to like every single major tokusatsu franchise in Japan. I mean, I'm just going on to 4, just Sentai, Kamen Rider, Metal Heroes, and Ultraman. I might get to Garo later, maybe as a replacement for maybe one of the 2 shows. My guess is probably either Metal Heroes or Sentai. I'll probably bring it as a replacement to fill in that little gap, because basically Sentai doesn't have many series left. Like, after I finish up Zoology, I have like 5 left. Yes, believe it or not, only 5 more to go, and then basically I'll be done. Yep, 5 more. So he's a former detective, like, and then all of a sudden it's revealed, oh, he's a ring hunter. Where the heck was this thing last episode? Yes. Like, 2 episodes ago, we had a ring for Die Ranger. So, he becomes Deca Red. I'm like, that's interesting. He has the blasters Deca Red has. And then he transforms into the Deca armor. The armor that debuted just, like, not even a year ago. Yeah. Like, it debuted last year for the 20th anniversary of Deca Ranger. I'm not kidding about that. It seriously is true. Because I was surprised the fact they actually had this thing debut. That we bring this, the next time we see this armor is this very episode. So kind of in a way, this is the armor's TV show debut. Yeah, in the main Sentai show, it's Premier Deca Red. That's the name of the suit. This is actually the first time it's ever appeared on TV, which is interesting. Yeah. He fights him for a bit, and we actually reveal, finally, the secret behind the curse mark he's got on him that he's had since episode 8. So, basically, and then all of a sudden, here comes the Gozyuger show up, like, oh, hi Cairo. And then, by the way, also we have Bucket's sister, Ribbon, who's given this special box, this prison to prison humans, and 2 special guard dogs. And given a bouquet of flowers for her sister. And then we saw, we actually remember, she actually loves Ryu. This has been pretty much been, like, first time it's been brought up in quite a while. Yeah, and you see, it's gathering dust. There's a little cobweb there. And I'm like, why did they drop this for? This is the first time it's brought up in a while. I think, like, the last time it's brought up was maybe, like, episode, like, 25, I think it was. I think that was the last time it was ever brought up. And then it was brought up again into this very episode. Why the heck it took so long to bring this up again, I'm not sure. It's like, this episode is like, bring up basically plot threads that were just never followed up with. So, and then the Gozyugers and the Ring Hunter, along with, of course, the guy who's Decker Red, gets sent to the prison and reveals, okay, so they kind of knew him from Bio World. They knew about the woman who mentioned in episode 9 in Tanzania. Okay, I'm glad the fact they mentioned her again. Okay, so it's revealed by the guy he actually went to the headquarters of Tao Jun's headquarters. And we see her basically giving Kao the ring and the curse mark. We see like over his eye, of course, where over time it's revealed, thanks to their flashback, that over time, as much as he used to become the Ring Hunter, that his body will become part of Tao Jun. By the way, first time Tao Jun has spoke in 4 episodes. Yes, she has not spoken a word in 4 episodes. First time she anything the whole show in a while. So, and then we have like the breakout. Of course, we have let's have basically our Tengu sword. Let's have Risu use his super strength to break the cell doors. For some reason, it doesn't work. Even the little polar apparently is stuck, which I'm like, yeah, that was kind of stupid. So then they basically distract the guard by having the 2 brothers basically argue each other, and then he's knocked out. And then we have Kiji. By the way, earlier on in the episode, basically Kiji was dancing like for some party at the Half Century Cafe. So then basically he gets disguised as one of the Bell soldiers. He just put just a bucket on his head, draw a little mark, and have a little apron, and then his cow just takes it out. Of course, it's a temporary alliance. And then there's a really cool sequence where basically the 3, basically Haru, the Ring Hunter, and the guy who has Decker Red ring all morphed at the same time. That was really cool. And then apparently this box. And then, of course, the box is destroyed. They get out. And then, as soon as they get out, Cone basically turns on them. And he battles basically his former friend, takes his ring, and then he just walks off. He forgets Ribbon this time because he got another ring. But he says, next time, I'll kill you. And then the episode ends with the guy in the hospital, and that's the episode. Also, this is the first episode of the whole show to not feature the opening title sequence. We actually hear the opening song during the fight sequence, which that's always really cool. But I'm like, I'm guessing because I'm sure Toei is receiving a lot of angry hate for firing one of their actors for underage drinking. I'm sure they probably want to show the edited sequence again, so they just when you think it's the open title sequence, but nope, just a symbol, go straight to the action. And it looks like next episode is going to feature footage from the canceled episode as part of the whole clip show stuff. And it was just an excuse for the producer, which of course I like the character because he reminds me a lot of Kenji Oba. Given the fact he basically copies the man's moves. Probably more Toei Easter eggs, but he had a problem with. I basically blame the person who actually fired the actress for the nonsense for that. Okay, But not much else to say about the episode itself. I do kind of like the episode, but if you watch this episode, unless you don't pay attention to social media, you're probably like, where is Gozyuger Unicorn? Yes, second episode row, this has kind of happened where it's not even acknowledged. Like, is she even there? Oh, no, because they edited out all of her footage because she got fired. Yeah. And who knows what else. I've also heard apparently that they're planning to do an MCU version of the Super Sentai franchise with Metal Heroes. Apparently. This I've also heard they're going to do a reboot of Spaceship Gavin. Okay. But not much to say about this. So that is pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up is One Piece. Okay, thanks, Phil. Bye.